Hey everybody. I'm here. It's me, Alan, with Shona,
Also here, me, Shona.
and also joining us through Zoom, the magic of technology. Uh Jonathan, you wanna say hi?
Hello, everybody. That was good. I've been manning the comment section while you guys ironed out the technical difficulties, and apparently Muno is a thing now because of the cinematherapy reaction video. There's the cult of Muno has already started.
Yes, we definitely need to make some Muno t-shirts, apparently.
Wait, I don't know what the cult of Muno is. Is this something I need to research?
Oh, you haven't seen the Reacts video, have you?
No.
Okay, Shona was not here for the Reacts video. She
Also, for everyone else who might not know, that one person there might not know.
might not know. So yeah, at the end of the Reacts video, you made a joke about how in the feature length movie, Jono will be the moon. And then our editor, Emily, is a genius, and she got one of the moon shots from the movie and stuck Jono's face on it, and just labeled it Muno.
Perfect.
Yeah,
That checks out.
it's very good.
People
Well
are
done.
saying they're going to buy Muno shirts. It's fantastic.
Turn
Who's
off.
David? Someone's asking. David is one of our editors. He produces on set, and he's also someone that I like to snuggle with. Uh, so that's David. He is the light and soul of cinematherapy.
David's actually here operating a camera, and when Jono said he likes to snuggle with him, David violently threw up.
And also giggled at the same
And
time.
giggled.
So
It
it's
was
beautiful.
a very strange.
No, he does that every time we cuddle. We've got listen, not everybody understands our dynamic, but it works for
Okay.
us.
We also need to introduce Paul Taylor, who was the director of photography for Moonstruck. Hi, Paul. Say hi.
Hey, everyone, how's it going? I know you can't
So,
respond, how's it going back, but hey.
hi, we're doing well, Paul. How's Hawaii?
Well, that shoot got postponed for a few weeks, so I'm actually at home right now.
Oh, buddy, are we going to lunch?
Yeah, I was about to fly out, and they're like, no, you're not. I said, okay.
Oh,
Turn on David's camera?
Yeah.
Why?
Because every time you talk, it just is David Sand.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Well, we'll do something.
Well, it just flips to that.
There we go.
Hi, guys. Now you get to see a little behind the scenes. Look, there's lights, and there's a Brad over there.
We have a cave troll.
he loved that. Oh,
Listen, here's the thing. If you only knew the sheer amount of crap I take from Brad every shoot, like people just saw me rag him on camera and they're like, "Oh, that was mean."
That was mean.
No.
It
is due.
It is a
owed.
tiny fraction. It is infinitesimal.
Brad is consistently taking the piss out of me, and then when he and Sophie are on set together, I feel so small. It's Anyway.
Brad,
Yes.
try to not live on this camera if you
Oh,
can.
I know.
Okay.
You guys.
Okay.
Love you, Brad.
Yeah. Anyway, I guess we could answer some questions about the show. Probably.
Mhm.
Worst complaint during the shoot.
What was the worst complaint during the shoot?
Sleepy, so sleepy.
So sleepy.
It was a night
Oh my
shoot,
gosh.
so tired and delirious, and then usually you just eat sugar. So then it was like silly delirious.
So you're like up and down, and it's all night. I did give you 9 takes worth of nap time.
I also did get 9 takes worth of nap time.
That was near the end of day 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just come off another movie shoot though of night shoots. So I was like,
Did I ever tell you what Madeline did?
No.
Our first AD, our first assistant director, who is the person who like runs the set for everything, right? So that I can just focus on like pictures and actors. So Maddie worked a full day of work.
Okay.
And then came and shot all night.
Ruh-roh.
And then went and worked a full day of work.
Yeah.
Came back and shot another night.
And then she died.
And then no, I legitimately, when I found out she
did
didn't,
not.
she's fine.
Oh.
She actually just had her first baby.
Oh,
She did.
That's
If anyone
Don't.
That's how you make babies. That's what
If any of
babies
you
do.
watch my my Mended Light channel, Maddie works on that channel as well. She's always on set with us for that. And Maddie, if you're watching, you're fantastic. We love you.
Yeah, she's incredible. But yeah, I mean, she's in her 20s, which is how she was able to do that. I think.
Yeah.
My biggest complaint was self-imposed because the stair fall was originally not in the script. That was something that we came up with while we were rehearsing.
You came up with, not
that I came. Yeah,
you.
because neither of you would volunteer my 40-year-old body to be thrown down a flight of stairs, but I'm like, I'll do this. Look, this will be great. And I acted like it didn't hurt, but I needed like 5 chiropractor appointments after.
By the way, you didn't do a great job of acting like it didn't hurt. Like,
no, like
I know what you look like when it doesn't hurt, and that wasn't that Jono.
Okay, well, my point is, like, I tried to make it look like I was in pain on camera, but like I got up and you guys are like, "Are you all right?" I'm like, "I'm fine. Let's do another." Yeah, maybe I didn't act that well, but.
Someone says, "How was Audrey after the shoot?"
How was Audrey after the shoot? There's a disembodied voice of our producer. Megan's gonna come join us for a second.
Yay!
Hi guys.
Hi, this is Megan. She's a producer on Cinema Therapy and on Moonstruck and on Our Children.
Yes. I'm also his wife and Audrey's mom.
You got to tilt the camera a little more towards her face.
Oh, here. Snuggle up.
Here, let's just.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So Audrey was on set until around midnight the first night, until about 1 or 1:30 the second night, I want to say.
And we wrapped her.
1.
We wrapped her at 1.
Yeah.
She then hung around a little bit.
Well, no, we got her pretty quick to bed.
Yeah.
So she was tired, but she loved it. Maybe I shouldn't say this. She didn't go to school after the second shoot day. She slept and was very tired.
Yes.
But she loved it and had a lot of fun. So
what's it like directing your child? Because
terrifying.
Is it?
It's a little nerve-wracking. So this is the second time I've directed all 3 of my kids now in commercials and then some short films. And I'm always nervous that they're going to show up and be my kid, not an actor, but they've always shown up and been so professional.
Wow.
Audrey was so
she was
great on set. She was really, really good. And I mean, I didn't see her when she wasn't like on set.
Yeah.
I saw behind the scenes footage of her very much just being Audrey and running around and being a big goof. But whenever she was working with me, she just walked in and was like, "Okay, what are we doing right now? What's my motivation, Dad?" She never said that.
In his head, she did though.
Yeah.
How long we took to shoot and where we shot?
Paul, how long did we take to shoot?
2 days. And
Paul, how stressful was that for you to shoot all of that in 2 days?
You know, it is what it was. It's fine. It's great. It's wonderful. It wasn't stressful at all.
The thing is, Paul is like this at all times. So even when it is stressful, he's still just like, "Okay, let's go. Like, let's shoot this."
He's equally sarcastic and calm all the time.
All of it again. Okay, all right, that sounds great. You're not going to Hawaii? Fine, fair enough. Let's go to lunch.
Whatever. Let's do lunch.
Exactly. And we shot in my house. So actually, literally straight upstairs from where we're sitting right now is where we shot. And that was another source of stress for Paul because my house is not huge. It's average sized.
It's house sized.
It is an average sized house with narrow hallways and rooms.
Yes.
So that was stressful for Paul because we had to move big film equipment around and he was constantly like, "Alan, why are we shooting on a set? This is dumb."
But also like narrow hallways when you're running for your life from what's he called? Moono. As you go down the hallway, and then you have literally Paul with a massive camera in tiny hallway. Like, don't hit wall, don't hit Moono, don't hit Paul is all I could think. Like it was like a little ping pong ball.
I think I'm really skinny.
That is also true.
Okay, did anything not go as planned?
Paul, did anything not go according to plan?
No, this one we actually had quite an extensive amount of prep. And so we were able to plan that pretty fine-tuned. And everything went pretty well, I think.
Yeah, we didn't have any major problems. The one thing that did not necessarily go according to plan is Shona had a great idea for a shot right in the middle of the shoot. And she told me, hey, we should do this shot. It was actually the shot of her feet sliding across the floor when Jonna was like pushing the door open. And I was like, that's a brilliant shot. We should totally do that. And then I promptly forgot and we didn't shoot it.
And then I had to come back about how long after?
Oh, like 2 months later.
And shoot it again.
Yes.
With just, who was, your son was pushing on the door? Like,
my son Jack was pushing on the door. I had to light everything and try to make it look as good as Paul would have. And
yeah, that was,
it's fine.
And the whole time I just went, I told you so, I told you so, I told you so, I told you so.
We had to cut the audio because she was just berating me the entire time, but it was only on feet. So
but the dolly shot, not the dolly shot, the bed dolly shot was one that was quite difficult because it's a little bit technical. That one you were redoing a few times.
That was tricky. We had to do 8 or 9 takes of that one, and we filled up every square inch of that's my actual bedroom, and we just completely filled that room with like gear and stuff. Paul and I and the focus puller were actually all jammed into my bathroom. I was like perched on the toilet like a little gargoyle looking over Paul's shoulder to see what the shot was. Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, I mean, we shoved a skateboard dolly track, a jib with a rodent on the end of that jib, all in your room. And that move we did had several accesses to it. And we were within a couple of inches on a few of those spots. In fact, we ripped off the closet door.
We had to take the closet door off
to get
because the camera had to land. Yeah, the camera at the end had to land inside the closet and look out.
Oh my gosh. I took a nap during that entire scene. Like I was supposed to be sleeping in the scene and they were like, we're going again. I was like, sounds great.
She's very method.
Definitely go again.
Okay, someone says, who were the extras?
Oh, the extras outside?
Yeah.
So
Crew,
it was the 3 PAs that we had on the show. So one of them was Sophie Tejas, who's a producer on Cinema Therapy, and she's been on several episodes. So if you've seen her on CT, that's where Sophie came from. The other 2 extras were just people who volunteered, Alana and Shaquille, and then I was one. And it was 31 degrees outside. So for those of you who are not dumb Americans, that's what, 0, almost -1 C. And I'm out there in shorts and a t-shirt barefoot.
And how cold were you?
0 cold. Absolutely. I was toasty warm the whole time.
Adrenaline or why?
Because of Viking.
Oh, okay.
Someone asked, how do you plan shoots that are not chronological?
Oh, how? Okay.
I'm guessing they mean like actually
like out of order. Yeah. Out of sequence. How do you do that? You're a producer.
Honestly, so a lot of times you'll do it by location and who you can get there. And so this one was like the location that we had to set up first was going to start up in the bedroom, right? That was the one of the first shots we did was in your hallway closet, but also we're trying to wrap out a child. So we're going to try and get all of her scenes first as well. So
that's right.
He's apologized profusely, but he said he threw us into kind of like the most difficult emotional scene, but like as an actor, you know the whole story, you know the story you're telling, and it's almost as if you were in the middle of telling somebody's story and somebody interrupted you with a question, you just pick back up on that part of the story. So we're just at that section of the story, we could tell it, and then you kind of jump forward. But Alan is a meticulous planner, like literally for a very small short shoot and script, we went over it a lot. We had rehearsals, which I don't even get on feature films a lot of times, so it's like,
I know it's
so helpful and it makes it work, but a lot of the times it could have been a lot more difficult to shoot out of order like that. But I think you made it really easy because everybody knew what we were doing, where we were going, and you know, it just makes it work.
It's the key is planning. You just go through things over and over and over. Paul and I spent hours and hours and hours. We probably spent almost as many hours like just going over the shots we were going to do as we did actually shooting the shots. Is that fair, Paul?
Yeah, that's probably fair to say.
Yeah, it was a lot of work.
Which you don't get that, right, Paul? That's really uncommon. Especially like shoots move so quickly and prep time is usually limited.
Depending on the shoot. No, this one was unique in how much prep time we had. I mean, we had months because we were going to shoot it and then we didn't. And then, so we had months and months to prep, where normally, no, I don't have that kind of prep time.
Yeah, we delayed by about 4 months so that we could run the Kickstarter and which was super useful because then we were able to raise the budget to get all of the crew and all of the equipment and everything to make it look as good as it did. So
Someone asked, did you get any comments from your neighbors about the creepy group of people outside?
Oh, this is important because this was my question when I showed up. I was like, you guys, what are you like? We live in kind of like a quiet little, not we live, I don't live here, but they live in
we live a couple miles away. It's not that fun.
Utah, quite neighborhood, and we've got lights and all this equipment outside. And I was like, we're all going to jail. Tell them what you did to your neighbors. I love this.
So honestly, most of my neighbors thought it was really cool.
But didn't you two go around like tell them?
Oh yeah. We did. What we did is we had our kids because they're very cute. We made a flyer, and this is pretty standard for film. If you're going to be like filming in a neighborhood or somewhere, you make up a flyer, and your location manager, which in this case was Megan, she did everything that nobody else was doing. You have your location manager go and just tell everybody like, hey, we're going to be filming at this time. So we had our kids go around and deliver flyers to everybody. We had a couple of people stop like early in the evening and just like, hey, what's going on, guys? Because we had, lights up and all kinds of craziness. But, for the most part, nobody really cared. Like seeing people around the neighborhood for the next couple of weeks, they'd always just be like, so what was going on at your house? Like I saw all these lights. And yeah, fortunately, nobody was awake when we were doing all of the spooky people outside.
We think.
I never got any questions about it because we did that at about 4 a.m. And so nobody saw us with our weird eye lights and stuff.
Yeah.
Someone asks, let's see, did anything break during the shoot aside from Jono or in our house? Anything was broken in our house or anything other than Jono?
Well, Jono, speak to your breakage.
Okay, so here's the deal. Somebody commented maybe some stunt training first, Jono, and I said, and Alan can speak to this, stunt training is not the problem. I know stunt work. Being
Jono
a middle-aged man,
a lot of stunts.
Yeah, in my 20s, I'll drop it in the chat. I'll do a link to my stunt reel of the glory days in my 20s. But the issue is I'm not in my 20s. I'm in my 40s and I sit for a living. And so I know stunt work, and that was the thing. That was the thing on set on the day, is that when we were rehearsing, is when I just threw myself down the stairs. There was some fear that I had actually slipped and fallen because I made it look so believable
from her.
Yeah, but and it didn't hurt when we rehearsed it. I guess because I was going like 2/3 speed, and I was
you were going pretty slow.
But I really threw myself into it when we were filming because I wanted it to look gnarly. And I mean, I definitely couldn't hide that I was in pain, but I think I hid how much pain I was in, especially when Alan checked on me like an hour later and he's like, how are you? I'm like, no, it's fine. I'm good. I was not fine. And it, like insert Ron Howard's voice, he wasn't, And so it was like 4 trips to the chiropractor. And so the issue, I mean, Alan and I have talked about doing more action together. The issue is getting in action shape because
we're both in decent shape for 40-year-old guys, but like to get an actual stunt shape would be 4 to 6 months of 3 to 4 hours a day in the gym and doing yoga and stretching
and letting Shona push you off of stuff
and letting Shona push us off.
Is it good? No.
So that was me, but it was totally worth it. I mean, it was worth it during the live watch to just see the comments pour in of ouch or Jono, are you okay? Like I live for that type of reaction. So
yeah, other than that, I don't think we broke anything. Did we break anything, Paul? No gear, right?
No gear was broken.
I almost broke the camera.
Jono very nearly, not really. Jono spooked the cameraman and it fell off the dolly, but then Paul immediately caught it. We did break one thing in our house because we had stuck a big heavy picture frame up and it fell and put a big gouge in our very cheap baseboards.
No, I didn't know.
That's it. That's the only thing that happened.
Okay, so this wasn't a question, it was just a comment. They say, I like Shona's reaction after throwing Jono down the stairs because she reacted like it was her husband despite being scared. So
Oh, it's because I'm such a good actor. No, I honestly was terrified. I don't know. In the rehearsal, I think we all kind of know he like threw on me like, hey, I'm gonna do something like this, and then just chucked himself down the stairs. And I was not prepared for it at all. And so then in the actual thing, I was like, okay, so I know how this is gonna go. I know what speed, but he went like twice as fast and bounced like 9 times more. So it was still a very like
It was shocking to watch.
he's dead for sure.
Yeah.
And I want to know, Jonah, what happens when you go to the chiropractor and you tell him with your wife standing next to you, I got owies, I threw myself down the stairs. Does he look suspicious at your wife or like what's
No,
happening?
listen, she doesn't come with me to all of my doctor's appointments. She came to my vasectomy for moral support, but like other than that, I can handle it.
TMI, dude. TMI.
I was like, I was there for the births. You're gonna be there for the anti-birth. So it was no, but I did tell him that I was in a movie and I did stunts, and he's like, sure you did.
Sure you did. Crunch.
How long did it take from the idea to the final product?
Oh, geez. Okay. So the idea, this is a lot of people have seen this and been like, oh, Local 58. I'm almost positive that Local 58 got the idea the same place I did, which was a Reddit writing prompt from like 6 years ago. As a nerdy Redditor, I was just scrolling, saw this prompt, like you get a bunch of texts and they say, do not look at the moon, or one says, do not look at the moon. And then a bunch of texts say, go look at the moon. And I basically immediately, like didn't sleep that night. And then, wrote a version of this the next day. And so that was like 6 years ago. And then we've just been waiting. I did a big rewrite, as we were getting ready. And then we did a bunch of tweaks later on. But yeah, 6 years for writing. Once we decided to go, Paul, when did I start talking to you about shooting this? It was in like October or November of 2021.
Yeah, something like that. Fall of 21.
Yeah. And so we started doing prep work then because we were planning to shoot in December. And then Megan, being the consummate producer, was like, hey, you have like 1 million fans on Cinema Therapy. Why don't you run a Kickstarter and see if any of them want to donate to a movie? It's like, oh, that'd be neat, huh?
Let's try that idea.
Wow.
I want to answer this question.
Oh, go for it.
So somebody said, what was the choice? Oh, it's gone now, but say, explain the choice to have the wife not get violent protective, but instead hide and pray. So there's a dichotomy there, right? So I don't know that he's a moon monster yet. It doesn't make any sense to me. This is my husband, and me is just like a personal, like if it was in my life, like I'm a fighter, I don't run and hide. And so to have this choice of like, if a monster was attacking my family, I would fight versus flight, right? But when it's your husband and you don't like, so the pushing was like, get away, but I'm not going to go keep attacking, because I think it was unsure of like what the danger was, but also I do have to keep myself alive because there's a child in the house I have to protect, like that. Like I have to make sure that she's safe. And if I go full in, there's nothing left for her. So,
yeah, it didn't make a ton of sense to me when I was writing. And then in discussions with Shona, we added some subtlety to it, but yeah, it didn't make a ton of sense that she would just immediately go Rambo.
Which we also
well, and if you look at like horror films, and if you look at Shona as the quote unquote final girl, I mean, she's the only woman in this particular film. But
well, Audrey's the
like,
final girl. No spoilers, but
okay, but that's a journey, right?
Yeah.
The character doesn't start badass. That's not a movie. Right, they grow to face and challenge their fears. And so this is a short film, and the purpose of the short film, or a purpose of the short film, is to leave everyone deeply unsettled. A purpose of a feature-length horror film might have some fist pumping there by the end, but I know I'm all for empowered female characters, but that kind of defeats tonally the purpose of the short film, which is just to leave everybody, when it's over, going right. And that's what it did.
So a question that kind of piggybacks off of that, someone asked kind of like, what's the message or the moral or the theme?
Takeaway.
The takeaway. Yeah.
What's your takeaway?
Making movies is fun. Making movies with friends is funner.
Excellent. That's a very good takeaway. So for the short, I sort of wanted to explore some of my own personal demons as far as like what I feel like I've done to my family in sort of dragging them into filmmaking and this kind of thing. There's a deeper thing that we're going to explore when we write the feature. We're going to really use this as a metaphor to examine sort of abusive relationships. By the way, I don't think I would. Megan, do you feel like you're in an abusive relationship with me? No. Publicly state this right now.
On camera.
It doesn't count if you tell her to.
Mike, where'd the mic go?
I'm feeling coerced into making a public.
She's my breast. She's my breast.
She's outwitted us again.
The secret sauce of cinema therapy is that Megan is the funniest one of us.
That's not a secret. Yeah, so there's more there that we're going to explore in the feature. For this, it's largely just exploring sort of like I am the moon monster. Like Jono's just embodying me in this. And then I wanted to have, believable reactions and something interesting happening with the wife character and doing that. So hopefully we accomplish that. The main goal was just to scare the crap out of people and make them want to see more. Hopefully that worked.
And
so how did I get in character? I just played Alan in college. That's what he was like.
It's exactly what I was like. Glowing eyes and everything.
Stepping backwards creepily everywhere for no reason.
Just walks backwards. Let's go to the cafeteria. But that's a really, like, for me, like, that was the thing that excited me the most, is that issue of like, how, like, to me, children in this world are our most valuable asset, the most like precious resource that we have. And like to have this, like, this powerlessness that we have to protect them, but just still that responsibility. And us just as parents, as adults, as like caretakers of small human children who live in this world, to find a way to try to protect them with the limited experience, knowledge, and skills that we have. It's like, that is being a human to me. Like,
yeah, there's a lot that you can unpack. This is one of the things that's fun about having the moon be the scary thing, is you can put it's really easy to take your fears and issues and just put them into that, and your anxieties, which is one of the reasons that we went with something that is weird but universal, because then everybody can like put their own crap into it, which is fun.
Okay, somebody asked, why horror?
Honestly, because I had a realization about 5 years ago that I had horrible night terrors as a child. I woke up in a cold sweat, or actually literally screaming from nightmares about half of the time, from the time I can remember until I was like 17 or 18. Just, it was constant. So I was, scared of, and that bled into the rest of my life. I was just terrified of everything. And I had avoided that. Like, Jono and I, when we started making movies, we were making action comedies. We both have a comedy background. We love action movies. That's what we were doing. It's a lot of fun. I still enjoy doing that. It's kind of what I like to do. But I realized about 5 years ago, oh, I have a superpower. Because I spent so much time being afraid, I know how to scare people. And there's money in that. You can get paid to scare people. It's not a money thing. I just really enjoy it. There's something deeply satisfying about getting people to jump and scream. And
well, and Alan and I have had a lot of conversations about, because it should surprise nobody that when we're not talking movies on camera, we're talking movies off camera. And he talks a lot about meaningful horror, that neither of us are crazy, particularly about slasher films or horror films that don't really have anything to say. But the stuff that really gets you to explore not just the darker side of our nature, but like the flip side of that as well, because when you explore the darker side, it tends to lead you towards exploring standing up against your fears, or at the very least processing things out in the open. And horror films and scary films are a great place to do that, because we get enough of a distance, because it's not our life, it's the life of the characters, so we can be scared, but like,
and it's usually some kind of fantastical thing, right? Like the stuff in it is not real, but it accesses things that are real, and so you can do, and there's so much good modern like meaningful horror. Hereditary, The New Invisible Man, Get Out, and Us. Like there's so much good stuff.
And we just went to see Megan, the killer doll Megan. And I remember when we left, you were like, that's exactly what I want to make. Like that type of smart,
like,
has something to say, but also
it was super
really fun.
but it was smart and had something to say. And there's a doll doing a TikTok dance. What can come on?
Let's see.
It's a remote control. They're wondering what's between your legs.
I saw.
This thing. It's a sorry. It's the remote. This is it's like a little recliner couch.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, here, I'll move that. That must look very strange.
I just want to say nobody's asked this, but that's okay. I'm just going to answer a question that nobody asked, which is
this is Jono in a nutshell. Answer questions no one has asked.
Here's what I want to talk about. Here we go. I should create like a fake user profile and ask all the questions that I want to ask.
Already? I thought at least 3 of these were you.
No, it's more of a statement. Is I want to thank Alan because I'm a kind, happy, upbeat, positive, fun person. And this was the opposite of that, which was really, really fun to do.
So I'm gonna say, don't thank me, thank Megan.
Yeah.
You were her casting choice. Like because we had cast Shona a long time ago. I wrote it for Shona. And we were talking about like, okay, who are the locals that we know? Should we try to go out to somebody in LA? And Megan was just like, I think the answer is staring you in the face literally every week on your show. Oh my gosh, you're right. So, yeah.
And well, thank you. Well, Megan had faith in me. I was a little worried. I'm like, I'm not sure I can get there. And I know a lot of my performance is augmented by visual effects and stuff, but I was very pleased on set with people's reactions. I'm like, okay, I think I'm actually getting it because I've never tried anything like that before.
Here's your wholesome cinema therapy content for now. I had no doubt the second Megan said it, I was like, perfect. Jono will be perfect at this. I know he can get exactly where I need him to go. And it will be so shocking to our viewers that this is flawless. It's like all of the sort of cute guys being cast in Promising Young Woman, like how all of the sleaze bags are like dudes who've played like the sweet guy.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's it. That's Jono. Done.
So just wanted to thank you both for that. And thank you, Shona, because it's easier to be scary when you're acting so scared. I'm like, I believe that I was terrifying because I'm like, oh, well, she's selling it, so I must be scary. And then I went scary.
Probably wrap it up. 2 last things. One, somebody was asking about your next projects. And then just do a thank you to Kickstarter.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So next projects, what do you have? Do you have anything coming out? You probably have 9 like Hallmark movies coming out. Yeah?
I just did a Hallmark movie. I just finished it. It's going to be it's a Christmas movie. We can probably we'll redo it for next year.
We'll do more
Christmas romance movie. I can't remember what it's called right now.
I mean, you do like 2 of those a year now, don't you?
Yeah, I do. And then I'm doing a psychological kind of thriller adventure action movie. I'm producing it. I'll also be acting it. It's called Transference.
I'm very excited.
And it's awesome.
I'm not working on it.
Well, yet it's not done. I haven't it's not, we're not in there yet. Yeah. Wait for it. But that one's going to be pretty amazing. So I'm excited.
It's very exciting. And where can people follow you on the socials?
Mostly I'm on Instagram because I'm old and I can't do TikTok.
I know. You do reels. It's the same thing.
But yeah, on Instagram, I try to do Facebook, but yeah, just find me
at Shona K.
Yeah, or go on IMDb if you want to see. If you follow on IMDb, then anytime I do a project, it puts it up there. Yeah. But I want to be friends with these people. They're hilarious.
They're lovely.
And then they can brand me, come up with a Shono merch or Shono Mono. I'm going to leave it in your capable hands. I believe in you.
We do need some Shona merch. Paul, what are you working on, amigo?
I'm currently working on a documentary for the Polynesian Culture Center out in Oahu.
Nice.
So yeah, it's going to be very cool when it comes out, but that's like more than a year away, yeah?
Yeah, so we're taking a good part of this year to film it. We end up in Oahu about 6 times: Tonga, Tahiti, Fiji, and it'll end up being a 90-minute doc. There's also a possibility it could become a 4-part miniseries.
Awesome.
So basically, Paul has the worst job ever. He has to go to all over Polynesia and film beautiful people doing amazing things.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
My wife was there yesterday, actually, at the Polynesian Cultural Center. Those who are watching, if you've never been, if you're ever in Oahu, it's the best place to have a luau and catch a show and learn about Polynesian culture. Like it's almost like an amusement park, but super chill, which is perfect for Hawaii.
It's perfect for Polynesia.
Smile.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty amazing. Yeah, Jono, obviously, you guys know he's on Instagram and Twitter and on our show every week. You
can check out my other channel, which is Mended Light, which is a bit more of a cinema therapy is very edutainment. Mended Light is a bit more of a clinical deep dive. So if that's your thing, then go check that out.
Yeah. So as far as next things for us, Megan and I are working on a script for a movie called Homestead. Shona will be appearing in it. Jono will have a small role.
He's a tree.
He's going to be a tree.
It's going to be amazing.
He's going to be Trino. So we've got.
But we've talked about this. I'm basically going to be Bruce Campbell, like for Sam Raimi. Once Sam Raimi got big, like he stopped having Bruce Campbell be the lead, but he always has him for like one little scene doing something weird.
He's the maitre d' or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jono's going to be everything. Paul's going to be shooting that for us. We were hoping to film that this year. I don't know if that's going to happen. If it doesn't, stay tuned. There will be a Kickstarter announcement relatively soon for a couple more shorts. And then Moonstruck will be our next feature after Homestead. Unless Homestead takes a long time to get off the ground and somebody decides to fund Moonstruck first. We'll see what happens. But there is a feature-length version of it that we will make, and it will be very good. And we do need to take a second to just thank, speaking of Kickstarter, our Kickstarter backers who get this lovely poster.
Signed.
Oh yeah, they'll be signed too by me and you and Jonathan. But yeah, we couldn't have made this without you. Well, we could have, but it would have been really bad.
Comment that says Homestead. Don't look at the dirt.
That guy, that's the person to come.
The Violet Maze.
The Violet Maze. Yeah. At Shona on Instagram. You guys need to have some branding conversations.
At Shona UK. Find me Shona UK and send me all your info. I need you. I need your brain.
Amazing. Yes, don't look at the dirt. Yeah, I don't want to go into that too much. It's dealing with a lot of psychological trauma and nightmares and just fun stuff. We have a bunch of ideas that are not horror movies, but we're probably going to do some horror movies first. What's laughing? There's laughter.
You said psychological trauma and nightmares, fun stuff. Those are the words that you said.
She found them.
Listen, that is the house we built.
I'm a disturbed person. I need therapy. But yeah, thanks so much to the Kickstarter backers. Thank you to all of you who've been hanging out with us for the last little bit. And please tell your friends about the short, as many people as we can get to see it. The hope is this can open some doors for us in Hollywood with financing and distribution stuff so that we can start making movies in addition to making cinema therapy, which is like our main thing that Jono and I are passionate about. But we also, we think we can reach some other people by telling the stories we want to see and talk about on cinema therapy.
Yeah.
That's the plug.
I'm going to be more even blatant. Those of you who are watching this, once this is done, go to Moonstruck, the actual film, and just hit that share button and share it on your social medias. If you would do that for us right now, that would be a huge boost, and we would love you. We already do love you, but we'd love you more.
Yes. Okay. Thanks everybody. Thank you, Shona. Thanks, Paul, for sitting around this whole time and answering 3 questions.
Hey, no problem, man. I've been working while you guys have been talking, so we're good.
Perfect.
He made money while
he was making money while we were doing this. All right. Y'all great. Love you all. We'll see each other again real soon, I hope.
Bye.
That's good. See you guys.